Martell Holt's mother finally shared her unfiltered thoughts about her son, about Melody Shari, and yes, Evan, about Arrione Curry. From the very first second, it was clear this wasn't casual shade or small talk. This was years of pain, love, and disappointment bursting through. When Marlene sat down and began speaking, you could see it in her eyes before a word came out. That wasn't the face of a mom lightly scolding her son. Was the heartbreak of a woman who had watched her child throw away everything good he had while acting like nothing was wrong. She didn't yell or scream, but every word carried a weight you can't fake. And when it comes from your own mother, the truth cuts deeper than anything else. Marlene didn't just talk about Martell. She spoke about the family he once had, the life he lost, and the woman who held it all together for as long as she could, Melody Shari. She didn't describe Melody like an ex, but spoke about her like a daughter she still wished was part of her life. You could hear the respect in her voice as she remembered how Melody carried herself, brought stability to Martell's world, and kept their family name strong even when he was making choices that could have destroyed it all. Marlene saw it all, with her own eyes, and as every mother knows, you don't need gossip blogs or social media to recognize who's good for your child. You feel it? That's why Marlene's words hit so hard. Without even trying, she made it clear that Melody was the one who kept Martell looking like he had it all together, even when behind the scenes he was falling apart. But when Marlene turned her attention to Arrione Curry, her entire tone shifted. She didn't insult her, but the disappointment was clear. And then she dropped the word that shook everyone. She called Martell's situation with Arrione an incident. Not a relationship, not love, but an incident. With just one word, she stripped all meaning from something that had lasted over a decade. It wasn't just shadit, it was grief. Marlene wasn't angry at Arrione personally, but she was angry at what Arrione represented: chaos, dysfunction, and the detour that pulled Martell off his path. She also spoke about Maverick, Martell's youngest son with Arrione, and while she made it clear she loves her grandson, you could see the pain in her eyes. Not because of Maverick himself, but because of what his existence symbolizes the moment everything truly fell apart. Every time she looks at him, she's reminded of what was lost, and that wound doesn't heal overnight. Meanwhile, Melody Shari is thriving. She doesn't need to clap back online or throw shade. She's signing deals, growing her brand, raising her children with grace, and showing success in silence. The contrast between Melody and Arrione speaks for itself. Builds, the other drains. One brings peace, the other stirs drama. And Martell's still cantor won't see it. This is why Marlene's honesty cuts so deep. She didn't just call out Martell's mistakes, she called him out for never learning from them. The court battles, the financial struggles, the public embarrassment, none of it seemed to change him. Still makes excuses, still waits for things to magically improve. But his mother has stopped buying it. She's tired of pretending, tired of clapping for dysfunction, and tired of watching her son spiral. Yet despite all of that, Marlene admitted Martell still has time. He's not too far gone. But every decision he makes now will determine whether he rises back into his purpose or keeps sinking further into chaos. And that's the hardest part for a mother. Loving your child unconditionally, but refusing to support their destructive choices. Because, let's be real, when your own mother calls your decade-long relationship nothing but an incident, when she reminds you that you had the blueprint for success with Melody but chose dysfunction instead, there's no spin that can cover that up. Marlene's truth wasn't spoken for the cameras. It was spoken for her son, her family, and the legacy she refuses to watch disappear. And the truth is simple. Melody was the light. Losing her was Martell's greatest mistake. Until he makes a real change, that truth will follow him. Because deep down, everyone knows Melody was the one who built, who balanced, who held it all together. And that presence, even in her absence, continue to haunt every decision Martell makes. What makes Marlene's words so unforgettable is that they didn't just hold Martell accountable, they also reminded everyone watching of what once was. Viewers of Love and Marriage, Huntsville remember when Martell and Melody were considered the ultimate power couple. They weren't perfect, but together they built businesses, raised a family, and put Huntsville on the map in ways no one else had at the time. Their balance was undeniable. Melody was the strategist, the planner, the calm in the storm, while Martell was the bold mover with big dreams. When they worked together, they were unstoppable. Marlene remembered it all. She recalled the family dinners, the kids laughing, and the way Melody balanced out Martell's impulsive side. She remembered holidays filled with joy, business plans drawn up at the kitchen table, and a vision for the future that seemed unshakable. To her, that wasn't just a marriage, it was a blueprint for legacy. And watching her son throw it away for fleeting moments of chaos has been nothing short of devastating. The most powerful part of Marlene's truth is that she didn't only speak about loss. She spoke about potential. She still sees the man Martell could be, the father he could rise into, the legacy he could rebuild if he made better choices. But she also knows the clock is ticking. Every year wasted in drama, every excuse made instead of action taken is another step away from the future he was destined for. And let's be honest, Martell's image has taken hit after hit. Fans have seen the court battles, the public arguments, the endless cycle of denial and blame. What Marlene gave us wasn't another headline or social media rant. It was a raw reminder that behind the cameras, behind the gossip, there is a family still hurting. There is a mother who refuses to sugarcoat the truth anymore. This moment matters because it's rare to see someone that close to Martell speak with such honesty. Friends may protect him. Cast members may argue with him. But when his own mother calls out the dysfunction, it becomes impossible to ignore. Her words weren't entertainment, they were a mirror, forcing Martell to face what he's done, what he's lost, and what he still has a chance to fix. And that's why this story isn't over.